Let us for a few moments close our eyes, sit erect, turn the mind inwards. Let all the thoughts of the mind be kept aside for the time being. Let us apply our willpower and consciously take the mind towards the divine, dwelling in everyone's heart. Let the mind be kept at the heart center, the seat of illumination and enlightenment. The more we are able to keep the mind at the heart center, the more we enjoy peace and bliss. Let us approach the reality that is God. Let us withdraw our attention from all outside things. Let us slowly and steadily approach the heart center, the spiritual center, the abode of supreme peace and bliss. Let us pray for the welfare of the whole humanity. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Avadara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namah Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions in the world, who came to harmonize the religions, who for the first time make the people understand that religion does not mean communal attitude. Religion does not mean to approach God in a dogmatic way. Religion is pure, it embraces all the people in the universe. Sri Ramakrishna came to preach that religion of infinite Catholicity, infinite dimension. He came to show us what is real and what is unreal. He pointed out what are the obstructions in our spiritual path. Why we are not able to make any steady progress in our spiritual life. What is the meaning of knowledge? What is knowledge? What is ignorance? So by his practical life, Sri Ramakrishna gave the correct interpretation of the knowledge, the correct interpretation of ignorance. What is Vidya? What is Avidya? What is death? What is immortality? What is God? Where is He? How to see Him? How to have enlightenment? How to have illumination? How to get real peace in the life? All these points have been dealt with by Sri Ramakrishna in very effective way in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. All these teachings were in the Vedas. They were all in the Holy Scriptures. But Sri Ramakrishna validated all these things by his actual life. He showed that religion is realization. Religion is practical, intense life of spirituality. So we must look religion from this point of view, that at no point of time we should dilute the quality of spirituality. Often we try to give reasons for whatever we do in a philosophical way, giving the impression that everything is spiritual. But immediately they will come to know in their life that what they were talking is not spirituality. Spirituality requires certain qualifications, just as persons require some degree in education for entering into any job. Even so, to enter into spiritual realm, we must have degree on noble virtues. Without acquiring spiritual qualities, we will not be able to appreciate spirituality at all. We will not be able to enjoy the effect of spirituality unless we are well established in the noble virtues which Lord Krishna has given. In Bhagavad Gita, Abhayam Sattvasham Suddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajñascha Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam. It continues. Where are we? Where are we? What steps are we taking to have our character well established? Every moment we are cheating ourselves. We are cheating our mind. The mind is cheating us and we are cheating it. We are living a life of hypocrisy. How can we expect spirituality? We are full of egoism, full of arrogance, full of haughtiness. How can we expect any spirituality? So on these points, Sri Ramakrishna has dealt with very clearly. There is no ambiguity. The first and foremost quality required for entering into spiritual life is that we must become free from ego. We must be free from arrogance. We must be free from haughtiness. We should approach the teacher with this minimum quality of humbleness straightforwardness, fearlessness. Mind set into sattvic state, sattva samshuddhi. And when our mind is set into that highest state of sattvic condition, then we aspire for knowledge. Then we hanker after knowledge. Then we become very much serious about being taught into spirituality. That is why we find when Master Mahashaya came and talked with Sri Ramakrishna, first of all he wanted to remove all the obstructions in the life of Master Mahashaya. The first thing he did was he gave a severe blow on his ego. That was eye-opener. Master Mahashaya had thought he was a very great scholar because he was a teacher in the school, very learned in the ordinary material sense. Sri Ramakrishna never go to any school or colleges, but he was the most wise of all the wise people. So what he did, he just made him understand that knowledge means to know God, to see God, to realize God, to experience God realization, to experience that high state of enlightenment and illumination. That is called knowledge. Everything else is trash. Everything else is false. Everything else is untrue. So we must hit upon that knowledge. We must try all our energy to acquire that. We must approach the real teacher who has experienced that, who has that knowledge himself. So Sri Ramakrishna had that. Before imparting that divine knowledge to Master Mahashaya, he wanted to purify his mind. He wanted to remove that black cobra, which was ego. That I am so and so. I know this, I know that. He gave a severe blow to that. And what is avidya? Ignorance. Not to know God is called avidya. That is called ignorance. When he crushed his ego again and again, Master Mahashaya became more soft and soft in his mind. He became receptible to receive the divine knowledge from Sri Ramakrishna. He had all other virtues such as honesty, integrity. These things were there, and Sri Ramakrishna raised him. One may be in a very high position, but if he is not cautious, if he allows his ego to overrule him, if he is under the control of his ego, then he is completely destroyed. There is a famous episode in Mahabharata There was a great king who was great because of his virtues. He loved the people. He served them. He looked after their needs. In every respect, he became the object of love. People loved him very much. He performed many Vedic yajnas because of all these meritorious deeds. He was very heavily rewarded. What was that reward? He was given the celestial region. He was a king hitherto in the material plane. Now he was to become the king of the celestial beings in the heavens. That position, that special honor was given to him because of his meritorious deeds. At that moment, he didn't aspire for the realization of the divine Lord. So, he was given this highest reward. Suppose he had not desired, or suppose he had rejected this position of becoming king of the heavens, probably he would have got the realization of God. Well, he was good, very good, but power makes one drunk. He became arrogant in course of time, because where in that heavenly region he could enjoy whatever he wanted, nobody to obstruct him. All the different gods and goddesses, the angels, what we call, thousands of devatas are there to serve him, whatever he wanted. Just if he desired, that will be there. So he became enamored of the enjoyment, of the pleasures. But then, because of that position, he slowly became more and more egoistic, more and more arrogant. He began to look with lustful eyes the wives of other gods and goddesses. In fact, he wanted to have pleasure with the consort of Indra, the previous king. So he made the Saptarshis, the 7 rishis who are noted for illumination and enlightenment. He called them, he ordered them to carry the palanquin to the place where he wanted to meet that lady. He was so much full of lust in his mind. He was shouting again and again at the rishis, "What? Go quicker. Why are you going slowly?" In that process, he humiliated the rishis who were carrying that palanquin. And in that process, he even kicked one of the rishis. That's the end of it. Then one of the rishis told him point blank, "Look, all your merits get destroyed this moment. We have lost the merit of staying in the heavens. Do you know now where you have to go? You will have to take the body of Python, big snake lying on the ground. Go and have that body of the Python. The person who rose to that highest state, look how he came down because of his ahankar, ego." So we must all note this point. We shouldn't have any kind of egoism if we have to understand and live spirituality. Another point which I would like to say in the last class, and these are the comments which I am making of the last reading in the previous class. Sri Ramakrishna said that he offered green coconut and sugar on the recovery of Keshav's ill health. What does it show? Sri Ramakrishna validated the traditions. It means we can pray the divine to remove our suffering. We must establish link between ourselves and the God. And God will surely fulfill whatever we want. Lord Krishna himself tells in the Gita, Arto jignyasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshava. 4 types of people seek my help. Who are those? Those who are in distress. Oh Lord, kindly lift me from this bad situation. Another set of people, they want money, they want wealth, they want property, they want this, that. They pray God for that. Third set of people, they have got the nature of inquiring what is what. They want to know the exact nature of God. So they pray. And lastly, those who aspire for knowledge. Anyway, all these different types of people worship and pray the Divine Lord. Somehow they come in contact with Him. Because of their coming in contact with the Divine Lord, chances are there for their improvement in their life. So, the traditions, they are not superstition. They are well-meant. They are all meant with some feeling. God is not something that is foreign. It is our very own. It is nearest and dearest. God is our nearest and dearest. So again and again we have to understand this fact. For everything we have to run to God, not to anybody else. The second point was about the performance of duties. There was a person who came to see Sri Ramakrishna, and after 1 or 2 days he expressed the desire that he wanted to stay there, expect any spirituality. So he scolded him. Who will look after your wife and children? Do you think the neighbors will come and look after them? Are you not ashamed of that? You are married. Is it not your duty to look after them? Go and join some appointment. Work hard. Look after them. The same thing has been said in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says, Niyatan kuru karma, twang karma jayo hyakarmana. Do thy duty. That's it. By doing the duty properly, we become qualified for higher life, not otherwise. So, he made us to understand that avoiding the duties is not the way to spirituality. Then, the third point which Sri Ramakrishna mentioned in the course of his talks with Master Mahashaya, that God has forms, at the same time he is without forms. For the first time, Master Mahashaya came to know how these contradictory terms can happen. Sri Ramakrishna says, whatever way you have got faith, you follow that. What do you believe? Master Mahashaya said, I believed in God without form. Good, have it. But don't say that all other opinions are wrong and yours only is correct. Don't have that impression. You follow what you want to do. Then he was asking whether God is really present in the image. He was under the impression why people worship the images, clay images. Sri Ramakrishna pointed out it is the image of the spirit. Acharya Ramanuj, one of the great acharyas, he has emphasized on the worship of the image. God's manifestation is felt in the images. If the images are served properly, one can have the direct experience of the God. And Sri Ramakrishna himself had that experience. He himself worshipped Mother Kali and he got illumination. What more we want? So, it depends upon individual temperament. Accordingly, we must proceed onwards. Thus far, we have studied last time, page 81. Master, you are talking of worshipping the clay image. Even if the image is made of clay, there is need for that sort of worship. God himself has provided different forms of worship. He who is the Lord of the universe has arranged all these forms to suit different men in different stages of knowledge. He gives the example of the mother and children. The mother cooks different dishes to suit the stomachs of her different children. Suppose she has 5 children. If there is a fish to cook, she prepares various dishes from it. Pilau, pickled fish, fried fish, and so on, to suit their different tastes and powers of digestion. Do you understand me? Master Mahashay humbly, yes sir. How, sir, may we fix our minds on God? Same question. What we all ask has been asked by him. Because it's difficult to fix the mind on God. Though we want to do it, it has not been possible for us to do so. Then Master answers, repeat God's name and sing His glories and keep holy company, and now and then visit God's devotees and holy men. That's a very important point. Now and then visit God's devotees and holy men. That is, try to have more and more holy association. Holy association is very important. Place, surrounding, scriptures, studies, discussion, very important. Even one day in a week, we feel so difficult to come. That is, our interest is somewhere else. But at the same time, we want all spirituality to flower immediately. How can it be? Impossible. The mind cannot dwell on God if it is immersed day and night in worldliness. See how he has pointed out very clearly. In worldly duties and responsibilities, I have to go there, I have to go here, I have to meet that friend. My uncle is coming, my father is coming, my mother is coming, this, that. No end, no end. So Sri Ramakrishna tells, it is most necessary to go into solitude now and then and think of God. Coming to holy association is also called as is also to be interpreted as going into solitude. Because here we think of the divine God only. Going to solitude means going away from the people who are steeped in worldliness, whose mind are tainted in worldliness, whose mind are completely immersed in the enjoyment of the senses. To fix the mind on God is very difficult in the beginning, unless one practices meditation in solitude. When a tree is young, it should be fenced all around, otherwise it may be destroyed by cattle. To meditate, you should withdraw within yourself, or retire to a secluded corner, or to the forest. And you should always discriminate between the real and the unreal. God alone is real, the eternal substance. All else is unreal, that is impermanent. By discriminating thus, one should shake off the impermanent objects from the mind. So this is the constant fight between the real and the unreal. Day in and day out we have to fight and fight. We have to distinguish between what is real and what is unreal. And we must hold on to the reality, reject the unreal ones. Then Master Maharshi asked very humbly, how ought we to live in the world? Master replied, do all your duties, but keep your mind on God. Live with all, with wife and children, father, mother. Serve them. Treat them as if they were very dear to you, but know in your heart of hearts that they do not belong to you. That's it. That means you must do the duties in a perfectly detached way, with perfect non-attachment. You must try to practice doing the duties. Attachment means misery. Suppose you are going and doing a job in some company. Do it because you have to do, they are giving salary and you have to earn your money. Good. That doesn't mean that you should get yourself attached to that company. That's it. As long as you are there, you are working. That's all. A maid servant in the house of a rich man performs all the household duties, but her thoughts are fixed on her own home in her native village. She brings up her master's children as if they were her own. She even speaks of them as my Rama or my Hari. But in her own mind she knows very well that they do not belong to her at all. That's it. The tortoise moves about in the water, but can you guess where her thoughts are? There on the bank, where her eggs are lying. Do all your duties in the world, but keep your mind on God. If you enter the world without first cultivating love for God, you will be entangled more and more. You will be overwhelmed with its danger, its grief, its sorrows. And the more you think of worldly things, the more you will be attached to them. So, Sri Ramakrishna here gives a suggestion how to conduct ourselves. First, rub your hands with oil, then break open the jackfruit. Otherwise, they will be smeared with its sticky milk. First, secure the oil of divine love, and then set your hands to the duties of the world. You will not be tainted. But one must go into solitude to attain this divine love. To get butter from milk, you must let it set into curd in a secluded spot. If it is too much disturbed, milk won't turn into curd. Next, you must put aside all other duties. Sit in a quiet spot and churn the curd. Only then do you get butter. The highest spiritual philosophy has been explained by this analogy. What we say, Shravan, Manan, Niridhyasan, hearing, cogitating and meditating. All these three aspects make our mind realize the supreme reality. The world is water and the mind milk. By meditating on God in solitude, the mind acquires knowledge, dispassion and devotion. But the very same mind goes downward if it dwells in the world. In the world, there is only one thought, woman and gold. Here it is explained. What is the meaning of woman and gold? It is not in the literal sense that is used here. It simply means lust and greed. Lust and greed. The baneful influence of which retards the aspirant's spiritual growth. He used the word kamini or woman as a concrete term
for the sex instinct when addressing his man devotees. He advised women, on the other hand, to shun man, kanchan, or gold, symbolizes greed, which is the other obstacle to spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna never taught his disciples to hate any woman or womankind in general. This can be seen clearly by going through all his teachings under this head and judging them collectively. The Master looked on all women as so many images of the Divine Mother of the universe. He paid the highest homage to womankind by accepting a woman as his guide while practicing the very profound spiritual disciplines of Tantra. His wife, known and revered as the Holy Mother, was his constant companion and first disciple. At the end of his spiritual practice, he literally worshipped his wife as the embodiment of the goddess Kali, the Divine Mother. After his passing away, the Holy Mother became the spiritual guide not only of a large number of householders, but also of many monastic members of the Ramakrishna order. We shall stop here for the time being. Unless we sit in a suitable place, it will not be possible to fix the mind on the Divine Lord. But then, when we sit and try to concentrate upon the Divine, because we are sitting and trying to watch our mind, so many thoughts, inner currents, they become to the surface, and we come to know what exactly is going on in the mind. So, unless these thoughts are removed, there is no hope of concentrating on the mind, concentrating the mind on the Divine Lord. Unless the mind is concentrated, there is no hope to have any meditation. Without meditation, we can't have any illumination. So, what is needed is, first of all these thoughts which are coming in the mind are to be removed. When they come up, you just watch them over, just witness, just see them, then they go away. Not giving any importance to any of these thoughts that may come up in the course of our meditation. When all these thoughts are cleared up, because we are sitting quietly, witnessing these things, we are watching over the mind comes to know that my Master is watching me, so it becomes docile. In course of time you will find all the thoughts vanish, and few moments you will have a kind of steadiness in the mind, few moments in the beginning. That we must be able to concentrate those few moments. You will experience a remarkable peace, though maybe for a few moments. That is an indication how it is very important to keep the mind quiet. Only when the mind is set into a state of tranquility, we can experience real concentration. So, then only concentration, when it is pursued further, becomes meditation, and when meditation pursued further, we get into state of samadhi. So all these things are different states. So here he has spoken about the world is water and the mind milk. If you pour milk into water, they become one. You can't find the pure milk anymore. But turn the milk into curd. That means you make the mind more and more devoted to God. Let the mind be soaked in the love of God. Again and again you must fill it up with the idea of the divinity and all that is associated with that supreme thought. So when the mind constantly thinks of the divine, then it becomes curd. By constantly repeating the mind, by constantly repeating the divine name, the impurities of the mind are removed and it gets into a state of curd. When in that state, if you keep on practicing again and again, repeating the divine name, that is the churning. You are not, then no more other thoughts are coming up now because it has reached the state of curd. Again you are repeating the divine name. So that makes the mind finer and finer to reach the state of butter. It comes to know the nature of the reality. Once it has reached that state, then if that mind is placed in the world, it floats. It is not tainted by any worldliness. A man who has got some spiritual experience, who has developed his spirituality, following disciplines rigorously, he rises to a state where he is no more disturbed by any worldly things. Such a person, such a spiritual person, though he is in the world, he is not affected by the world. Though worldly people come to him, he is not affected by their worldliness. Rather, the worldliness in those worldly people is removed by the fine spiritual quality of this person whose mind has become butter. That is, whose mind is always thinking about God and whose mind is saturated with God and who is well established in the reality. For him, there is no more delusion. He is no more deluded. Sri Ramakrishna has said in one of the sayings, probably when he was talking to Yogananda, Swami Yogananda, I think, first if you realize God, if you put all your attention towards that end, then you marry 100 women, nothing to worry. You will not have any kind of sex instinct. You are free from that. That's the thing. So that is how we should understand how very important it is. First priority must be given to acquiring knowledge about God and trying to realize Him and then stepping into the world. But what we are doing in the reverse way, so we are suffering and suffering. We don't know how we are to be freed from this suffering because the process has been reversed. That's the problem the people of today are facing. So Sri Ramakrishna has given to show the path. Let us continue the class next Tuesday. Chant the name of the Lord. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of their heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar whatever is tapped, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame, as many times as I may be reborn. Grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. O how I long for that day, when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence. Though it tears my soul asunder, O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.